Okay, so I'm back now with the Mi 10 Pro. Used it for a week, and this is just a recap here. I'm gonna fill you in on the battery information. I also compare 90Hz battery life to 60Hz and compare that to the standard Mi 10 edition, which of course has a slightly larger battery. But I can tell you right now that the battery lifetime that we do lose, which you'll see is pretty much next to nothing, is well worth it for the improved great speakers that the Mi 10 Pro has. Overall, this is a very, very good phone. There's just a couple of things, mostly, really all of them, are software related that Xiaomi can fix. But the big one is the price. I believe that this is just a little bit too expensive. But let's just go over a few things first before I get to my final recap after a week with the Mi 10 Pro. And this question did pop up a lot, is what is the difference between the standard model and then the Mi 10 Pro with a slightly smaller battery? So this one has 4,500 milliamp hours and it is 28 minutes. This is a fixed battery test. This is called PC Mark with both of the displays calibrated. This is the result with 90 Hertz. So if you were to set it then to 60 Hertz, okay, so the screen doesn't feel as fluid, doesn't look as smooth and as fluid, but you do gain quite a bit more battery life. You can see on the standard model here, we've got 12.5 hours, which is an excellent score here, and almost 11 hours on the 10 Pro. Again, not bad at all. But one thing I did notice was this is still happening. You do get some poor standby battery drain. So if you're one of those people that keeps your phone on at night, but maybe you turn off, say, data and wireless, but you'll still want messages to come through and you keep it in silent mode, expect to lose around 9 to 10% over around 7 hours overnight. So hopefully they can fix this. This seems like an Android 10 or MIUI 11 kind of bug and problem on both of these phones. Just briefly update you on the ROM's performance is very good. This is probably the fastest I have ever seen MIUI run. Animation stutters don't actually seem to be as bad, but you can see I'm getting this. Sometimes the gesture detection is not so good. Okay, it's finally brought it up, but when you swap between different apps and even here right in the gallery, that things do load in very quick. Really good speeds on the internal storage. So do wait for the global version, of course, if you don't want to see things in Chinese, because if I swipe down, I'm getting these notifications and alerts that are coming through from Xiaomi's Mi Store and some other app here. I think that's the AI one that's bringing something up there in Chinese as well for me. And if you swipe up here, this brings up this Chinese search engine thing that, of course, most of us probably don't want, unless you understand Chinese, that is. So very good performance, good loading times. I'm not seeing that locking problem I had, the unlock bug that I was seeing on the Mi 10. Okay, the Mi 10 Pro seems to be exempt from that. It doesn't have it, so if I unlock now, you can see that's reasonably quick. I mean, it could be a little bit faster there in the animations once all the icons come up, but it's not having that same issue, okay, where the screen would be black, I'd go unlock it, it'll be black again, and I had to manually actually power the phone right off and back on again. Now, I just wanted to give you one more sample of those side-firing speakers that I said in the main review are actually worth it for the loss of the 200 and, 80 milliamp hours. It's well worth it. You lose, as I pointed out, 28 minutes or so. So just give you a sample of them, just how good these loudspeakers are. Dual loudspeakers, so top and bottom. So I really do like the build of this phone. I think the way that Xiaomi is heading with their build, their design is really good. Okay, so this is the Mi Note 10 that I will probably be reviewing in the channel again. This will be a follow-up 3 months later review. So very similar in terms of design, but I like the flat edges they have on this one. So the frame outside, the outside has a curvature to it, but then flat, a little bit similar to actually Huawei's phones, and then the 3.5mm headphone jack. Whereas with the Mi 10 and the Mi 10 Pro here, you have the rounded edges to it. A very good build, very comfortable, high quality. Buttons are made out of metal there on the side. What I don't particularly like about this design isn't the curvature of the screen. I thought it would be a bit of a problem, but it's actually okay. Is more this. You can see the way the camera protrudes out. So that's 2mm, which is quite a lot. So when you place it down without the case on it on a table, and you happen to, for example, swipe up or touch it here, you can see how that does rock around a bit. But excellent build quality with the Mi 10 and this Mi 10 Pro. In the back of it, it doesn't really show fingerprints that much because this one is, of course, the matte blue version. So the glass has a matte finish to it, making it a little bit more slippery, but more resistant to smudges. So you can only see just a few around here. Now, a few of you asked to see this. That is the Pro mode we have for our camera, but it also works with video. So yes, there is a video Pro mode, and this is absolutely great that they have included this Xiaomi. So we've got white balance shutter rate, your exposure there, two controls if you wanted that, and then swapping over to the different lenses. So if I tap that there, you can see we've got ultra wide, wide, 2x tele, and then the 5x tele. So if I tap this, the video icon, that then goes over to our video Pro mode, and the same exact controls there. So that's really good. So great for people like myself that have a YouTube channel. You want to lock down video settings. You don't want auto exposure going all over the place or the shutter rate, and you want to lock that ISO to something a little bit lower. Now the ISO setting, same as the camera, goes up to 6,400. Once you hit record, it will then be recording away and it'll be locked in those settings, which is great. Just to quickly touch on the camera's performance as well, so having that 5x optical zoom here when you tap the top there is great. It's very handy, and here are some samples so you can get really close into your subject, you can see here. And when you go over to 2x as well, that is absolutely great for portrait shots. So I've done the camera comparison between the Mi 10 and the Mi 10 Pro. Make sure you do check that. And what I'm showing you right now is just a couple of samples that, yes, you do actually see the difference between, I believe it's not probably the big difference here isn't actually the 8-element lens versus the 7-element lens on the standard Pro model with a 108 megapixel sensor. I think it's more down to software optimization, that they really have just pushed the maximum out of the Pro model here. So that's why this looks a little bit more detailed and better here, some of these shots. And low light, I find that the Mi 10 Pro is slightly better. That could be maybe the lens too as well. That is definitely helping out. So yes, the cameras are great. I mean, it will go, check out my camera comparisons, by the way, too, head to head with, say, the P30 Pro in low light, better it in some circumstances. Now the focus, I've noticed, doesn't seem to be wonderful with the main rear camera at times. In fact, I found the focus, when trying to focus on my cat Vera here, even manually tapping to override the focus, still wouldn't get it versus the standard Mi 10, which I found was very unusual considering this has an infrared assist focus, whereas the Mi 10 doesn't use that. It's just using phase detection focus on that main sensor. That's just a minor thing there. Now, apparently around the 5th of March is going to be a big camera software update, so I'll probably come back to the Mi 10 Pro, take a look at it, see what improvements we get. I hope that Xiaomi tweaks things like the oversaturation on flowers, for example. Red flowers, bright colors tend to be way too oversaturated. A lot of clipping in the colors there as well, so you don't get the full range of reds in that photo versus, say, the competition like a Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus I noticed did do better. The other thing is the panning in video. If you're really big into your video like I am, you'll notice a lot of 4K 30 Hz and 60 Hz, sometimes even panning, stutters, jutter that comes through in the video. Again, software that can be fixed, just like that battery standby drain issue that I'm seeing on all MIUI 11 Xiaomi phones tends to be quite bad at the moment, so they need to get round to ironing out those bugs, and then this will be a great phone once they lower that price, considering the fact that we've got the OnePlus 8 that's coming out soon, you've got Realme's flagship too, and more phones that will be coming out. I think this, if it is going to sell for the rumored about 799 euros, then that really is just a bit too pricey, I feel, for a Xiaomi phone. A lot of people, because of the software, would go for Oxygen OS, go for the OnePlus 8, and maybe just pick up a cheaper now S10 Plus or a Huawei P30 Pro. Much cheaper, selling for about 300 euros now, less than this model here. That's why it makes it hard, because Xiaomi was all about value for money, really good hardware for a great price, but if their prices now keep going up like this and really almost priced the same as, say, a Samsung Galaxy S20, it is really quite hard to recommend in its current state, current price that is. And thank you so much for watching this recap. Do check my other videos, as you can see right now, camera comparisons, we've got the review as well, and then the review of the Mi 10. Thanks for watching this clip.